such a time as this.
And welcome back to For Such a Time As This, the place where there is no such thing as a silent witness. We've been down a few videos as of late, but we haven't gone anywhere. We're back. We're back. We're not going anywhere. I want to start off this session, as always, we try to root what we are saying in the scriptures. Here we go. 1 Samuel chapter 8, verse 14. The context is the nation of Israel is clamoring, is demanding for a king, an earthly king, because they already had a king. The king was God himself, but they are asking, demanding Samuel for a king so that they can be like the other nations. And so Samuel is going to tell them what's going to happen. What's going to happen when they get this earthly king? Now, I'll pick it up in the middle of his warning to the people. This king, he will take the best of your fields and vineyards and olive orchards and give them to his servants. He's going to take what's yours and give them to his servants, to whomever he pleases. Verse 15, he will take the tenth of your grain and of your vineyards and give it to his officers and to his servants. That's taxes, people. Verse 6, he will take your male servants and female servants and the best of your young men and your donkeys and put them to his work. He will take the tenth of your flocks, and you shall be his slaves. Slavery through taxation. Verse 18, and in that day you will cry out because of your king, whom you have chosen for yourselves. But the Lord will not answer you in that day. He's talking about earthly rulers taking from the people who work and giving it to the people who are work challenged. And through taxes and other means, he's going to take from one group, give to another group, and there's nothing you can do about it. I will say my belief in the Old Testament, it was a loose republic. It was a very, very weak federal government. Which brings us to today. I was thinking about starting a new playlist on For Such a Time As This, entitled, the playlist was going to be entitled, What Daggone Country Do We Live In? Because I'm telling you, more and more, the left is not, they're not hiding their agenda no longer. They're just simply not. Listen to the mayor of the largest city in our country, New York, Mayor Bill de Blasio. Just listen.
That we needed to profoundly change the distribution of resources. I like to say very bluntly, our mission is to redistribute wealth. A lot of people bristle at that phrase. That is, in fact, the phrase we need to use. We have been doing this work for 7 years to more equitably redistribute resources throughout our school system. That means pre-K for all, 3K for all, advanced placement.
Redistribute wealth. That the reason why people used to bristle at that is because people used to hate Marxism, socialism, and communism. But you're right, Mayor. People don't bristle at it anymore. They're welcoming it. Redistribution of wealth. And now we have a so-called pastor who is running in Georgia for the Senate. Warnock is his name. That's the pro-abortion pastor. He's congratulating this Pope we have here because he's in agreement with the Pope when it comes to Marxism. They're not hiding it anymore. Look at the pro-abortion pastor who's running for the Senate in Georgia.
And
I love this Pope. He said, well, I'm not a Marxist, but I know a few Marxists, and they're pretty good people. So hard to discover and to hear an authentic vision and voice of authentic spirituality that gives voice to the least of these. And when it shows up, people describe it as some strange ideology rather than the vision of that poor Palestinian prophet who said that the Spirit of the Lord is upon me because God has anointed me to preach good news to
the poor Palestinian preacher. Poor Palestinian, whatever he said. First of all, the Spirit of the Lord is born. I don't know no Palestinian in my record books that said that I know a Jewish Messiah. How did this dude become a pastor? And how are people staying in his church? I'm convinced that man has never read the Bible. He's never read the Bible. A poor Palestinian preacher. Is he great? Look, what daggone country do we live in? This is the man who's running for Senate down in Georgia. And people, they're going to steal it in January, the same way they stole it in November. He's going to win. The pro-abortion pastor who thinks Jesus was a Palestinian, praising Marxist, mayor of the largest city, Bill de Blasio, tells you flat out he's going to redistribute wealth. Honestly, what country do we live in?
For such a time as this.